Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Thursday, March 19th, 2020, and what a bizarre night with regard to the futures market. Futures trading was all over the place. We're talking about Dow futures that were up by like 500 points after the European Central Bank said, well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to follow the Federal Reserve's footsteps and start buying everything. That reversed to down 800. Dow futures were negative 800 at one point. Then we went positive again, and now futures are pointing towards a lower open for this market. So what does this tell us? What can we expect today? Very volatile market. It's probably going to be all over the place. Here's the deal. We have one saving grace for those of you that are afraid of this market dropping further, and I know a lot of you are, is the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield is the only thing right now, it's above 1%, that's preventing this market from cratering thousands of points. And now, there's no guarantee this is going to hold at all. So, for now, let's keep our eye, as always, on that 10-year yield. If that starts to drop, you can expect stocks to crater yet again, and I mean crater. Let's talk about a bottom. Where's the bottom of this market? It's a black hole, and no one really knows where it is. Let me put a perspective on that. The last financial crisis, we are in a financial crisis right now. As a matter of fact, Bank of America just said that we are in recession and people are going to get destroyed. They're going to lose their wealth. They're going to lose their jobs, and we can expect the worst to come. This is Bank of America. Look it up for yourself. Oh, while we're on that topic, the Fed Philly Manufacturing Index, the lowest level in nearly a decade. This is no surprise to you. I told you this would happen for months and months from months ago, and it's going to continue. Manufacturing here in the United States is in absolute free fall. The lies, the propaganda, a booming economy, it's all becoming real. And not all of this, obviously, is the coronavirus. It's an incredible situation here that we are in. People, it's epic. It's off the Richter scale. But anyway, like I was talking about, where's the bottom of this market? The bottom of this market is in a place where no one has any idea, except we do get some clues. Let me elaborate here. The last financial meltdown, the Federal Reserve stepped in at Dow 6,000 with quantitative easing 1, then they moved on to quantitative easing 2, Operation Twist, the whole thing. Right now we are on full-blown 100% life support. The Fed, European central banks, other central banks are again issuing in their final solution to be the lenders and buyers of last resort. This is what they have been gearing up to do since the last financial crisis. This is engineered as well as this whole virus thing. Believe me, there's no coincidence here. This was deliberate, and they're playing a game on the world, very dangerous game, and people are dying. They don't care who they have to kill. You understand that, right? We have fought wars, killed, tens of thousands, millions, to keep this perverted system going, and they're killing people now. This is part of the game. If you don't understand that, I suggest you wake up. So Dow 6,000 was when the Federal Reserve stepped in here, started propping up this market. Now that means this: the bottom of this market was lower than 6,000 with regard to the Dow at that time, and we had been on absolute 100% life support. And President Trump was 1,000,000% correct during the campaign when he said that this market was a big, fat, ugly bubble. Back then, during the campaign, he hyperinflated it. He turned a big, fat, ugly bubble into a monster. He lost all of his gains, which was inevitable. Everyone said it too. I tried not to, but it's the truth. He kept touting that stock market. Look how great our economy is, doing the fist. This is what he did as the stock market went up. He was trying to make people look here, don't look here. It was a complete and utter abysmal failure. Again, his stock market has now lost every single dollar since his inauguration, going back to the bottom of this market here. So Dow 6,000 was when the Fed stepped in last time. The bottom was lower than that. So we can say here, being that the president outlined correctly for us, stock market was a big, fat, ugly bubble during the campaign. He knows, I think, he doesn't understand the market. He's admitted this. He's a real estate guy. I don't think the president has even the slightest. If you compare what the president knows about this market overall and then me, I would say he has a fraction of my knowledge, and that's not his fault. He's the president. He's a real estate guy. I am a stock market guy, period. I'm actually an equity derivatives guy, but I do understand this market, I think, to an extremely high degree. So the bottom of this market, being that the Fed stepped in at Dow 6,000, still remains lower than 6,000. And the fact that we are now at that stage where the president said we're in a big, fat, ugly bubble, the market still is in a big, fat, ugly bubble here. So we could clearly drop to Dow 6,000 or below. There's the bottom for you. I'm not saying we're going to get there for sure, but there's nothing that has a price discovery mechanism behind it at all right now in this market. You know that. It's beyond belief. Crude oil fell below my target price, which I can't tell you how many people laughed at me when I said the crude oil should be between $25 and $27 a barrel. I mean, I got ridiculed for that too. And guess what happened? Not only did we hit my target, we went below that. I got to laugh at people when they try to challenge me on this market. I really do. It cracks me up because, again, I study this around the clock. So, and unless you're doing the same thing as me and you try to challenge a guy like me on this market, you're going to lose. You're going to lose, period. You understand? So let's talk about a few other assets here. Cryptocurrencies are taking off right now. Bitcoin near 6,000 again. Should be no surprise to you. Cryptocurrencies are extremely volatile. They go all over the place. If we've learned one thing, but then I got these other idiots trying to challenge me on Bitcoin too. I told everyone to start buying it at 3,700. Duh! And now it's almost 6,000. It's going up. So are the other big cryptos. I own them all. Silver's up right now. Crude oil is actually catching a bid. I think gold is about flat or maybe slightly down. But look, central banks are going to inflate like we have never seen before. Let me explain to you what's happening here in America. Some kind of national socialism is going on here. We have a Fed supplying unlimited funds for the government, the Fed is the government, to nationalize industries. You understand? That's national socialism. And then the next step was the president yesterday with the invoking the National Defense Act, which can now force you into government servitude. They can take your business, your assets, whatever they want to. And American people are not up in arms about this. It's an incredible situation. But again, this is the move. America lost. The America we have now is not the America of even 6 weeks ago or a month ago. Our freedoms are being taken away exactly like I told you would happen. Something so hideous is going on here. And we are moving towards national socialism. That should ring a bell. Look up national socialism to you. And a lot more horrid things are about to escalate as national socialism now takes over the United States. It is horrible, the moment in time we are at. This engineered thing that we are in right now is going to get monumentally worse. So just be ready for what's coming. Be ready for what's coming. I don't think people have any idea of what's happening, what just happened to our country, the coup that just took place, the move towards national socialism here. And it's pretty bad. It's pretty pathetic. All right, people, look, I'm going to get going. I think this video has been important. Please share it. Get it out there. This guy loves you a lot. I'll see you at the end of the day.